One of the most startling transformations in the fitness world is seen when bodybuilders transition back to their natural state, often after discontinuing the use of steroids. This change from an exceedingly muscular physique to a more natural form can be quite astonishing. Here, we'll explore the journeys of 5 such bodybuilders who lost all their gains. Ronnie Coleman, an 8-time Mr. Olympia, faced surgeries and health issues post-retirement, impacting his once formidable physique immensely. Paul Dillett was one big monster freak among the freaks. However, his career took a dramatic turn when he suffered a stroke on the 1994 Arnold Classic stage. Tom Prince, known for his impressive muscle density, faced severe health challenges. He battled kidney failure, which drastically altered his muscularity. Bob Paris, celebrated for his aesthetic, experienced a natural evolution in his physique after moving away from bodybuilding. Chris Cormier, a prominent competitor, encountered a spine infection, altering his muscularity post-career. One of the most startling transformations.
Okay, I'm going to stop it right there. I'm going to start off as always by giving all praise, all honor, all glory unto YAHAWAH, bahasham, YAHAWASHI, bahasham, Rakha Kodash. Double honor to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who teach and who rule well, who taught us this truth through the power and spirit of YAHAWAH, bahasham, YAHAWASHI. Hey, Lord willing, this lesson is edifying to the elect out there, whoever you might be. Shalom to 144,000. It's the brother Amawan Padah from the GMS Denver camp, coming at you with a quick lesson, and it's in regards to, people chasing after earthly crowns, all right, accolades of this world, this current society. And it's funny, man, it's through the spirit though. I seen this clip I think I seen it yesterday. I seen this clip, and I thought about doing a lesson on it, and I didn't really get to it, but then I saw the elder Bishop Ayathan, he did a similar lesson on this topic using this as an example. All right. He talked about how Ronnie Coleman, was once a great bodybuilder, 8-time champion bodybuilder, you know what I'm saying? Or 8-time Mr. Olympia, if I'm not mistaken, and now he's learning how to walk again, man. All that, shit that he was a part of has taken a toll on him. And now, he's old, up in age, and he's dealing with many different, bodily ailments. Okay. And all that glory that he had as that champion bodybuilder has faded away. And the reason why I'm doing this lesson is because the only thing that matters in his life is you serving YAHAWAH, bahasham, YAHAWASHI. All right. That's going to lead to a glory that will never fade away. All right. We want to be of the elect, the ones that are saved out of the worst time this earth has ever seen, to be taken up into the chariot of YAHAWASHI. All right. We want to be the one. We want to be the ones that make it out of this thing, man, who have remained faithful unto the Lord until the end. Okay. This whole thing about, being somebody in this world, in this society, when you come into the truth and you really understand what it's about, it becomes less important, man. It's not important at all, really. All right. We're not saying, you become a straight loser and don't do anything. All right. No, we're not saying that. But just know that everything here is temporary, man. From the cars, people, they spend their whole lives trying to be somebody in the eyes of these other people who the Lord ain't finna save, who the Lord's going to kill in these last days. The Lord ain't finna save no bodybuilders just because they had 8 world championships, man. Ain't nobody finna, or the Lord ain't finna come save nobody because, they went triple platinum, as a rap artist, or they got, 12 different degrees from college. The Lord is not coming back for those people. Okay. He's coming back for the elect, and that's it, man. And that's what we put all our focus and energy into. Just like these people right here, they put all their focus and energy into being somebody in this world. They dedicate themselves to get the titles and the praises of men. We're dedicating our lives, our energy, our time, and our efforts to praise, to receive the praise of YAHAWAH, bahasham, YAHAWASHI, to be accepted of Him. All right, now let's get some precepts. All right, here's the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 9. I'm gonna start at verse 24. It's the Apostle Paul going in, right? And he says, "Know ye not that they which run in a race run all, but one receiveth the prize? So run that ye may obtain." And the race that we're running, It's not a physical race, man. All right. It's a spiritual race. And it's a race of endurance. You see? And the finish line is going to be receiving salvation from Yahawah, bahasham, YAHAWASHI. All right. Being brought into the second covenant. Being set aside, for salvation, man. That's our goal in life, man. Not to be somebody here. We're not running for that, man. This society is cooked, man. This society is through, and it's temporary. Okay? We don't give a fuck about the status of this society and being somebody in the eyes of the world. Okay? We're running for a different prize, man. It goes on to say, and every man that striveth for the mastery is temperate in all things. Now they do it to obtain a corruptible crown, but we an incorruptible. You see, the crowns that they have, those titles and, the esteem of the people, that's temporary, man. Because as soon as you, fall off, people forget about you. They don't give a damn about you. All right. You see these celebrities, man, they have their shine, for, a certain amount of time. And then, they get older and they, or a scandal arises and they fall off. And then people start talking shit about them. So that crown that they had got corrupted. It doesn't matter anymore, man. You see, but the crown that we're going to receive is the crown of eternal life, man. All right. The crown that we're going to receive is going to be in history forever. Our image would never be tarnished. Right? If YAHAWASHI chooses us to be of his elect, if that's what happened, because it happened already before the world was formed. He already chose his elect. But, thing is, we don't know if we're the elect right now. That's what we call ourselves, the hopeful elect. But we're giving diligence to make our calling and election sure. Okay, because the elect will be, running that race to make it to the end. And that's why we strive, man. Okay, we're striving for an eternal crown, man, that eternal glory with Yahawah, bahasham, YAHAWASHI. And that's something that nobody will ever be able to take away from the elect, man. They're going to know who was of the elect in the kingdom of heaven. All the Israelites that come after us, they're going to know, man, you were one of the ones that made it. It's going to be in history forever, man. They're going to know that we're one of the ones that YAHAWASHI saved and delivered. You see, that's infinitely better than, receiving titles and accolades in this society. Think about it, man. We're not doing this for nothing. I want to bring this out real quick. This is 2 Peter chapter 3 and verse 10. It says, but the day of the Lord Yahawah, bahasham, YAHAWASHI, will come as a thief in the night, in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burned up. It's talking about that nuclear destruction that's coming to destroy this world, man, this society, this current age that we're in. Once those nukes go off, man, ain't none of that shit that you were doing in the world, outside of serving the Lord is going to matter. Shit, even when all hell breaks loose, when society collapses before the nukes detonate, all those titles and accolades that you receive in the world, all these celebrities, they're not going to mean anything in that time, man. Only thing that's going to matter is if the Lord is protecting you and shielding you from what's coming. The plagues, the pestilences, the civil unrest, World War III, okay? The natural disasters that are coming. All these things, man, are going to, how should I say this? You're not going to make it through all those things if the Lord ain't dealing with you, man. And that's why we strive so hard to be closer to Yahawah, bahasham, YAHAWASHI, giving diligence to make our calling and election sure. This is what really counts right here, what we're doing, man. Okay, those of you that are listening and have repented and turned back to Yahawah, bahasham, YAHAWASHI, who are striving to please the Lord every day, hey, you're running in a race that actually matters, man. Okay, when it's all said and done with, everything in this society is going to be burned up. It's going to be dissolved, right? It says, verse 11, seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons ought ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness? That's what the elect are going to be doing, man. They're going to be making their conversation or their way of life. All right. They're going to pattern it to YAHAWASHI, his will, to the best of their abilities, so that they can be saved, man. Because we know that the end is upon us, man. Okay. It ain't gonna matter how many fucking cars you know, how many luxury cars you got. It ain't gonna matter how many women you done popped. All that ain't gonna matter, man, when all hell breaks loose. You know what I'm saying? You a hood superstar in your neighborhood. Don't nobody care about that shit, man. All right, except the people of this world who are gonna die along with it. Okay. So continuing on. This is the Book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5. I'm gonna read a little bit of this, all right, because it goes into, our plight as the hopeful elect, man. It says, "Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him, and made no account of his labors." All right, because people don't care about, what we're doing for the Lord, man. Those outside of the elect, the majority of our people, they look at us like we're fucking crazy, or we're wasting our time. And they don't take account of the hours that we put in, researching and reading and praying and fasting and serving the Lord, man. Okay. The time we put in, to putting these videos out, the majority of people don't even care. Verse 2, it says, "When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all that they look for." So the Lord's salvation is going to be a strange occurrence, man. It's not going to be something that, you can conjure up in your mind. The way the Lord's going to save his elect is going to be a shock to these people. They're going to realize that the Lord has actually been dealing with those who have been putting the videos out, coming in the right spirit, coming in 100% truth, starting with those of Great Millstone and, the affiliates who come in the same spirit, the true spirit of YAHAWASHI. They're going to look at us and be like, damn. All right, those were the elect. All right, it's going to be crazy how the Lord saves us, man. Okay, he's going to be saving us out of all these different calamities by way of miracles. He's going to send angels to defend us. All right, you see what I'm saying? And then ultimately he's going to beam us up into the chariot to be whisked away from the coming thermonuclear destruction. And they're going to see us, all right, all the naysayers and, people that were coming up against us, they're going to see us being taken up. It's going to blow their goddamn mind. All right, verse 3, it says, "And they repenting and groaning for anguish of spirit shall say within themselves, this was he whom we had sometimes in derision and a proverb of reproach." Meaning, man, these are the guys we was talking shit about. Those prophets, man, that were on the corners, we was talking shit about them, calling them bums, telling them to go get a job and whatnot, making TikTok videos about them. And hey, those are those guys, man. Verse 4 says, "We fools accounted his life madness and his end to be without honor." All right. They thought that we were the ones that were foolish. They thought that we were just going to die. They thought Esau was just going to, run us down and, we were going to perish without having any kind of real honor for what we're doing. That's how they look at us now. Your family don't look at you as a prophet, man. Your family members think that you bugged out and crazy. Those that are outside of this truth. Okay. They don't think what you're doing, is honorable, repenting and turning back to YAHAWASHI. They don't look at that as being honorable, man. Verse 5, it says, "How is he numbered among the children of the Most High, and his lot among the saints?" It's a big deal, man. Okay. You see, it says, "Therefore have we erred from the way of truth, and the light of righteousness have not shined unto us, and the sun of righteousness rose not upon us." Meaning they were in the damn dark the whole time, thinking that they were, doing something in this world. Because right now, a lot of these wicked ass people, they got different benefits, from bending over for Esau in this society. Playing the game, going along to get along in Esau's wicked ass satanic world. You got these sellouts, these celebrities, and even regular people that sell out. They gear their whole life towards Esau's wicked society, right? So they got little benefits and whatnot. But guess what? The Lord didn't shine the true light on them, man. The real understanding of the will of the Most High. It didn't dawn unto them that the Lord is actually dealing in the earth. They cast this world behind them, right? They wanted to chase the things of this world. They were running that race of vanity, right? Now, verse 7, it says, we wearied ourselves in the way of wickedness and destruction. Yeah, we have gone through deserts where there lay no way. But as for the way of the Lord, YAHAWASHI, we have not known it. You see, that's what they're going to say in their mind. Then they're going to say this, verse 8, what hath pride profited us? Or what good hath riches with our vaunting brought us? You see, they're going to be like, damn, what did all this shit that we did in the world, what did it profit us? Dropping all them mixtapes and you know what I'm saying? Doing all this, dumb stuff, spending all them years in college for them degrees. What did it profit us? It's not going to profit you nothing if you ain't got YAHAWASHI. They're going to realize it, that their whole lives was just vanity. Verse 9, all those things are passed away like a shadow in a post that hasted by. Yeah, your little status in this world is going to pass away like a shadow. It's not going to fucking matter here in the near future. Okay. Verse 10, it says, and as a ship that passeth over the waves of the water, which when it is gone by, the trace thereof cannot be found, neither the pathway of the keel in the waves. So, like a boat is in the, in the water, and behind the boat, you see those waves that are behind the boat. It makes like a pattern. But guess what? Those waves eventually fade away. All right. And then you can't look back and see those waves still, forming that pattern. All right. They fade away. They go back into the form that, it was originally. Okay. Well, that's like the people in this world, man. That's actually a term, making waves. They're making waves in this society, but guess what? They're going to fade away. All right. We're coming into a new era, a new kingdom. This society is going down, man. And we see it. That's why we moving in a different way, in a different manner. We're serving the Lord, man, whose kingdom is going to be eternal. Verse 11, or as when a bird hath flown through the air, there is no token of her way to be found. But the light air being beaten with the stroke of her wings and parted with the violent noise and motion of them is passed through. And therein afterwards, no sign where she went is to be found. All right. You see a bird flying through the air. You don't see a trail of the bird, flying through the air, man. You just see it moving. All right. You can't look back and say, oh, that's where the bird flew. Nah, man. Verse 12, it says, or like as when an arrow is shot at a mark, it parteth the air, which immediately cometh together again, so that a man cannot know where it went through. You can't shoot an arrow one day and then come back 5 days later and look in the air and see the path where the arrow went through. Okay, that's just like, saying, that's just like you trying to be somebody, putting all your energy into this society. It's temporary, man. Okay, and a lot of people are falling for the shit, man. Okay, to the point where they turn their back on YAHAWASHI. Okay, so yeah, that's the point right there. Okay. Matter of fact, let me jump down. Okay, I'm gonna keep reading. Matter of fact, verse 13. Even so we in like manner, as soon as we were born, began to draw to our end, and had no sign of virtue to show, but were consumed in our own wickedness. For the hope of the ungodly is like dust that is blown away with the wind, like a thin froth that is driven away with the storm, like as the smoke which is dispersed here and there with a tempest, and passeth away as the remembrance of a guest that tarrieth before a day. Yeah, you like some incense, right? You see smoke rising, all right, and it smells good for a while, but when that incense goes out, guess what? The smoke disappears. And after a while, it's like it was never even there. That's like this society, man. It's up right now, but guess what? It's going to die away. Okay, verse 15. But the righteous live forevermore. Their reward also is with the Lord, YAHAWASHI, and the care of them is with the Most High. You see? Therefore shall they receive a glorious kingdom and a beautiful crown from the Lord YAHAWASHI's hand. For with his right hand shall he cover them, and with his arm shall he protect them. All right, that's the point right there. Look at it. Look at it right here. We want to receive that crown from the Lord YAHAWASHI's hand. And the prophet Ezra, or Esdras, he actually had a vision where he saw the Lord YAHAWASHI crowning the elect. Okay, starting with the 144,000, man. Yeah, there's going to be a crowning ceremony in the heavens for those who make it. All right, through this temporary society that we're in. You see, this is what we're laboring for, man. And the world don't see it that way, but we see it through the spirit of YAHAWASHI. I want that crown, man. The Lord also told you, man, let no man take that crown. That crown keeps being mentioned in the scriptures for a reason. And also understand, man, that a crown represents authority. The elect are going to have a certain status in the kingdom of heaven forever, man. They're not going to be like the regular Israelites. They're not going to be like the 2/3 that died and had to be brought back into the kingdom. Nah, man. Starting with the 144,000, there's going to be levels in the kingdom. All right. There's going to be levels to the kingdom of heaven. You see. All right. So here we have it. As I mentioned it, this is the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 2, starting verse 42. All right. This is the vision of Ezra, who he saw the elect being crowned. Right. He saw YAHAWASHI crowning them. It says, I, Esdras, saw upon the Mount Zion a great people whom I could not number, and they all praised the Lord with songs. And in the midst of them there was a young man of a high stature, taller than all the rest, and upon every one of their heads he set crowns, and was more exalted, which I marveled at greatly. All right. So this is when Ezra saw a vision of YAHAWASHI. All right, he's the one that was taller than all the rest. All right. He was the one that was greatly exalted. He was crowning the elect. He actually set crowns on the elect's heads. That's what we're laboring to be a part of, man, that crowning ceremony. So I asked the angel and said, Sir, what are these? He answered and said unto me, These be they that have put off the mortal clothing and put on the immortal, and have confessed the name of the Most High. All right, YAHAWASHI. Now are they crowned and receive palms, and palms represent victory. All right, palm leaves, the tree, from the palm tree, that represents victory. And we're laboring for that victory, man. The victory over this mortal flesh, the victory over the cares of this life, the victory over this society and the pressures of it, to be crowned by YAHAWASHI, man. That's a crown that can't nobody ever take away from you. That's something that's never going to fade away. You know what I'm saying? I mean, come on, man. Now, I got a couple more. We're going to close it. This is Revelation chapter 2 and verse 10. It says, Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. This is the Lord YAHAWASHI speaking, man, talking about the tribulation that the elect are going to have to go through in these last days, the persecution. All right, Esau thrown us into prison and concentration camps. Some of us will find ourselves in that situation. This particular scripture shows you that the so-called white man is the devil, because who owns the prison industrial complex? All right, the so-called white man, he owns the prisons. So this devil is talking about a man. All right. And they're already passing laws to come against those who speak against certain narratives. Those who are coming with truth in these last days. They're going to, demonize it, especially the men of the Lord, man. They're going to throw some of us into prison. And we might even be threatened with death. But guess what? The Lord said, I'm going to give you a crown of life if you remain faithful. Showing you that death ain't final, man. The Lord controls life and death. Come on, man. That crown of life is going to symbolize us, getting the victory, man. Okay. Victory over death through faith in Yahawah, bahasham, YAHAWASHI. The Lord Yahweh resurrected YAHAWASHI from the dead. So it shows you that, death ain't final, man. The Lord has power over death. But anyway, continuing on. We got one more. We'll close it. This is the book of James, chapter 1 and verse 12. And James was the biological brother of the Lord YAHAWASHI. All right. And he says, Blessed is the man that endureth temptation, for when he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life, which the Lord, YAHAWASHI, hath promised to them that love him. You see, there it is. That crown is mentioned again in the book of James. That crown of life. That's what we are enduring for, man. Not these other, carnal endeavors out here in the world, man. We don't give a fuck about how these people feel about us, and how they view us, man. We only care about how the Lord views us, how he feels about us. And we pray that we're of his elect, man, because we want to receive that crown of life. All right. So we got to endure, all these hardships, man. And, the main temptation is going to be the mark of the beast, which is the RFID microchip. And we know that the majority of the world is going to take that shit. And those who refuse it, the elect, we're going to look crazy in their eyes. They're going to be like, man, why don't you just take that chip, man? Why don't you just take it, man? So you can live your life and take care of your kids and all this stuff. Nah, man. The elect understand what's at stake here. All right. We're not laboring to continue on in this society. We're laboring for the kingdom to come, man, to be, rulers and judges in the kingdom that is ahead of us. All right. Because that crown cannot ever be taken away once it's given to you by YAHAWASHI. So I'm in this lesson right here. Hopefully this was edifying. I open it to the elect. All right. And the faith booster. All right. I want to give all praise, all honor, all glory unto YAHAWAH, bahasham, YAHAWASHI, bahasham Rachak Wadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who teach and who rule well, who taught us this truth through the power and spirit of YAHAWAH, Bashem Yahushai. And Kwame Yasharala and Abba Babar. Keep your eyes on the prize, the real prize. Shalom.